What's going on? Darren Fanatic here with
Lamont.
Welcome to episode 23 of The Drive. 23 is a pretty special number in sport.
Absolutely. LeBron, MJ, multiple GOATs.
And now we're going to be talking about the NRL's GOATs, the Immortals and the Hall of Fame. Ron Coote has been inducted as the 14th Immortal last night. It was so wholesome seeing him, hearing his name get announced.
Oh, mate. Oh, made me very moist. I was so happy for him. Pulled at the heartstrings, you know?
Yeah. Just seeing how happy he was and then start to cry. It was just...
It's very emotional with me.
Yeah.
I guess as a Southman bloke, even living for the Roosters, you can't hate the bloke. He's just that humble, you know?
Yeah. He becomes the 14th Immortal. He apparently has been waiting since like 1999, so it's 25 years.
According to Voice of Last, they said he missed out, being passed up 5 times, which was insane.
Yeah, I think it was 4 times, and then this was going to be his 5th. So yeah, 1999 probably. It's 25 years of waiting. So I think it's pretty deserved now. I thought that they would. I thought they would get announced. They would announce too, because they said it was a possibility. And that's why I predicted Cam Smith, because I'm like, I know it's probably too soon, but I was thinking, he is the GOAT.
Probably, but I'll say this: do you rather give it for? Shut up, bitch!
Anyway,
we're not cutting that.
Yeah, no, you were saying Cam Smith.
I agree. He's probably the NRL GOAT, but I think you worry about trying to get the older blokes in there first.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sound like rude or anything like that, but you want them alive to actually accept it if you can help it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know it's a little bit different in the NRL Hall of Fame. There's so many people that missed out, that passed away. You know.
And I was thinking because they literally changed the rule that you only had to be retired for 3 years instead of 5. I thought they were doing that specifically for Cam Smith. So
there was a link there. I'll give you that. I think there's some. He's gonna be there sooner than later.
Yeah. I think he'll get inducted at the same time as JT. But then it begs the question. We'll look at the shortlist, right? Hold up. Give me one moment. The shortlist had Ken Irvine. I don't think he'll get inducted.
Very good scorer, but it's a bit different. It's a tricky one.
I think if AJ wasn't even close to his record, he'd be more of a chance.
Yeah.
But AJ's coming for that record. But then I don't think AJ will become an Immortal.
I love AJ, but no.
So I don't think Ken Irvine will become one. Then you have Peter Sterling, Brett Kenny. The amount of comments I see because I'm obviously way too young to have seen these players play, but Peter Sterling, Brett Kenny, the amount of comments I see that people say Brett Kenny's the best player they've ever seen, but it doesn't feel like. I feel like that's more of a recent chat. I'm obviously too young, but I never really heard Brett Kenny as a kid getting talked about as highly as he is.
I've always heard with Sterling and Kenny together, with my father, you know.
I always thought Sterling was better, probably because he had a media career, and that's just kind of he's in the spotlight more. Yeah. But and I see Brett Kenny, right? But I again, no idea, never seen any of these players play. But at this, while Brett Kenny was 5'8", I don't think you got a single Dally M 5'8" the year. Meanwhile, Terry Lamb got 7. But he beat him to the punch 7 times, and Terry Lamb's not even on the short list. So I'm clearly missing something, because
I think he's the type of bloke you have to watch and see. Because again, I got more quotes. Dad said he looks like the most natural bloke in the park. He can just do it all with his running game and passing range, and he just do it all. He just looks like natural. Some of the players now, like Munster, just create something out of nothing, you know.
I'm clearly missing something, but I don't think he got a single Dally M positional award. And
but saying that, they reckon that
they would have had Eels players taking points off him. Terry Lamb was the main guy, probably alongside Mortimer. At the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, Eels had Sterling, Cronin, Price.
The Ellis?
It's probably harder for him to get points, I guess. But surely if you're that good, then again, Cleary hasn't won Dalian yet.
Really? Oh, he won.
He's won halfback, so he's never won.
Okay, the big one.
Okay. because he's at point signal. But like Smith, Slater, and Cronk, they all won Deli M's. I don't know.
It's a bit tricky because I think didn't Smith win one when Slater was injured?
Smith won 2, Slater won 1, Cronk won 1, I think.
Yeah, Cronk won 1 as well. Yeah.
Cronk won 16 with Tamalolo. Slater won in 2011. Smith won in 6 in 2017, I think. But yeah. Anyway, do you think Peter Sterling and Brett Kenny will get inducted? Because I feel like you can't induct one without the other.
You have to. If one's going, you got to do both. I think.
But then
they got the case of overdoing them. Or it's hard. Can I be biased here for a second? Yeah. I think Sam Burgess should be immortal one day. I think he's that important for rugby league with his toughness and pretty iconic with that 2014 grand final, man.
I'm going to tell you, I think you're crazy.
What if I told you Bull's the future immortal?
That's more likely, I think.
Shut up.
No, but
even.
We'll get to Burgess, but I think is Peter Sterling on the same level as Joey? Then again, there's all these comments saying Joey's a cheat. I think all he did was a recreational drug, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he didn't do
any performance enhancing drugs.
That's right, weed and cocaine. But I would argue though,
drug cheat.
I would argue though, if he's smoking the weed, pulling bongs, it will calm his nerves more with kicking, so it can enhance his kicking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No. It's a recreational drug. He's not a drug cheat. He's not using performance enhancing drugs.
But I'm saying it could if
there's
you
comment. All I see on Facebook are people saying Joey's the best player of all time, or Joey's a drug cheat and shouldn't be an immortal, shouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame. And I feel like those people are just blindly hating him. But anyway, does Peter Sterling in that same class as Joey?
Well, I think Thurston's better than Joey, and I think Sterling's not too far behind them either. So I think I'll have to put Sterling in there because you can't have one without the other for me.
But then the argument for Brett Kenny is in Origin Arena he beat Wally Lewis.
He had his number.
Yeah, he had Wally Lewis's number.
When they're going head to head when they're both playing 6.
While Wally Lewis is the greatest Origin player of all time, arguably.
Thank you. I'm glad you said arguably then.
So it's I feel like they should both be inducted, but it's pretty tricky. Then we got a few names. I'll read the next 5. Alan Langer, Laurie Daly, Glenn Lazarus, Bradley Clyde, Brad Fittler. Are any of them future immortals?
So who was it? Fittler?
Alan Langer, Laurie Daly, Glenn Lazarus, Bradley Clyde, Brad Fittler.
I'll go maybe Daly.
He was the lowest on my list of them 5.
And then I'll maybe go...
I reckon you could argue Lazarus. Okay, we'll go one by one. Alan Langer.
I reckon just missing out. I don't know.
Because there's a tier between Immortals and Hall of Fame. Because you can't make a special tier.
Because he was part of the Super League and stuff, I'm not saying try to discredit the Super League, but I find it very hard.
I personally wouldn't have any of these 5 because I feel like these 5 are that tier below, and adding them to the Immortals kind of discredits the Immortals a little bit.
If you're gonna pick one from there, I'll probably just go Daly then Lazarus for me.
Daly hit the highest of them 5 though.
If I think pick one,
Laurie Daly, they all have a case, but I don't think they compare to Sterling, Kenny, Lockyer, Smith, Thurston, Slater. Langer, he had his Origin return. He won multiple grand finals for the Broncos. Daly, he did it 5'8" Ensigner. He Origin, Australia, Canberra. Then you got Lazarus, 3 grand finals at 3 different clubs, 3 premierships at 3 different clubs. One of the greatest props of all time. Bradley Clyde. My dad thinks he's the best lock he's ever seen.
Dad rates him so hardly as well.
So I can see his name being a part of the shortlist, which makes sense. Fittler, I would put above the other 4 probably, but I would have Lockyer over Fittler.
Maybe I hate the Roosters too much, and I'm blind by him. He's a gun, but I think he's just underneath these other players for me.
Yeah, again, I'm way too young to even have seen any of them 5.
I remember bits and pieces of Fittler when I was like 03.
Fittler retired in 04. I was born in 03. That's like Lockyer I see as a kid.
I remember bits and pieces of 02 and 03 with Fittler. Like, he dominated, but he wasn't like, wow, like, you know, like...
Actually, Fittler should be an immortal for his Auckland Knights performance.
Oh, piss off.
Okay.
Fuck off.
And then we've got Darren Lockyer. Is he a future immortal?
I know you love him. Insane record for club and country and state.
I'll read off his stats.
I know what you're going to say.
355 games. The most of all time until Cam Smith. What else? He had 122 tries, 237 wins, so 66.8 win percent. Captained Broncos, Queensland and Australia. 35 games, finals games, 4 grand finals, and he won them all. 63 games for Australia, 38 games for Queensland. That's 101 rep games, which is more than Cam Smith. Cam Smith had 98. Lockyer had 3 Dally M fullbacks of the year, 3 Dally M 5/8s of the year, a Clive Churchill medal, 2 golden boots, 1 in each position, Proven Summons medal, Wally Lewis medal, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the 100 greatest players of 08 to 2008, while he was still playing. He's the only player to be inducted in the Hall of Fame while he was still playing.
He does have a lot of good accolades.
I would put Lockyer as a future immortal. I think you do Sterling and Kenny. Yeah. I think you do Sterling and Kenny together, and then you can do like Lockyer, Smith, JT. We'll get to Smith and JT though. So the next 3 are JT, Smith, and Slater. JT and Smith will be immortals. Do you think Slater will be an immortal?
I think he's got the quality. For me, he's one of my favourite players of all time that's never played for South. I just think he had it all. And changed how the fullbacks played in a massive way, how they link up. You know, like him and Inglis were making people choose to do a 20-metre restart because of their kick returns. You know what I mean? Like people that change the rules, that just shows how good they are, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like Slater, he is. I think he's the greatest fullback of all time.
Probably.
He's been like compared to Clive Churchill and Lockyer, I think are the top 3.
Well, so I take Slater over Lockyer every day of the
as a
week.
fullback, yes, but as a player, I mean,
It's tricky.
Lockyer did it as 5'8" as well, and was like a captain. Slater never really captained.
Well, he's still a big leader. Come on.
Yeah, I know. But Slater, I don't know. Like I think he could be, but he isn't as. I don't know. He's the 3rd highest try scorer of all time. Behind Ken O'Brien and Alex Johnston now. It's that one's Billy's tricky. I don't know. Maybe in like 20 years I'll think about it more. But
as a case, if you put Cronk in, you gotta put
if you put Slater in, you might have to put Cronk. But Cronk was behind Lockyer and JT at Origin level for a while.
But in my opinion, Cronk was better than Lockyer though. In my opinion.
I mean, Cronk's not on the shortlist. Maybe in the next inductions he probably could be. But then again, JT wasn't either. But JT is definitely a future immortal. Like 4 Dally M's, the most of all time. No one's beaten that. Yeah, pretty. Ron Coote is probably the right decision there. Smith, Thurston, they'll get their time. Lockyer probably as well, and Sterling, Kenny, and then maybe Billy Slater, and JT eventually as well. They've also they brought in new what's the word? Categories: women's players, referees, and coaches.
Or Uncle Wayne.
He snubbed the dinner.
He's Uncle Wayne. He can do what he wants. It's past his bedtime.
It's Wayne's World.
It's past his bedtime. Leave Uncle Wayne alone.
So the contributors: Frank Hyde, Ken Arthurson, John Quayle, David Morrow. I'm not really familiar with any of them, except maybe David Morrow. But they clearly like how about all the footage that they showed? Some of the footage they would have pulled out from decades ago.
Yeah.
Like Cole Pearce talking on a talk show, like Frank Hyde and all that. Like it's pretty, like it's things no one would have seen for like 50 years, and it's just getting pulled out like that. It was pretty cool to see, to be honest. Frank Hyde, Ken Atherton, John Quayle, David Morrow. Coaches: Jack Gibson, Wayne Bennett, 2 greatest coaches of all time. Bellamy will be there eventually.
Sure. Robinson probably as well.
Robinson maybe, yeah. Bellamy will 100%. Robinson probably. I hate to say it, but Cleary maybe eventually too. We'll see. But yeah, Gibson and Bennett are definitely 1 and 2. And Bellamy, when he retires, will be in that top 3. Then we had Cole Pearce and Bill Harrigan. Bill Harrigan's
the GOAT ref.
Greatest ref of all time. Cole Pearce is way before our time, but clearly was probably the Bill Harrigan of that time. The 11 players, you have Lionel Morgan, the first Aboriginal to represent Australia. Les Boyd. What do you think about the Darryl Broman, Les Boyd situation?
I think Broman's a bit salty, but I think he's got a point. He was just a thug, mate. Like, come on.
Like, I honestly hadn't really heard much about Les Boyd.
I remember.
I think maybe you could leave him out of the Hall of Fame. But, like, I feel like there's other players from around that generation that probably also could be inducted and might be even ahead of Les Boyd. I can't really think of any because, like, I was surprised Benny Elias wasn't already in the Hall of Fame. I thought he was.
Get Murray in there to steal his fucking ring and blazer. Fuck him.
Mario's arguably up there. But I'm probably just saying that because he was on the footy show. Then you got Ben Elias, Steve Renouf, and then 7 more modern players. Cam Smith, JT, Billy Slater, Benji Marshall.
Well deserved.
Seeing Benji as just getting inducted as a Hall of Famer.
Well, I reckon he's a good chance of future Immortal. He revolutionised the game again. All those sexy boy steps and stuff, man. I remember doing them in the schoolyard, man.
Like, Benji is just...
The Benji Goosey, man. Oh my god. And he really gave it away with all these shoulder recos, man.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm just so happy to see my GOAT, Benji Marshall. Literally, Benji is the reason there's, like,
you guys probably
thousands of fans even watching NRL today.
He was so cool. Those mutton chops, man.
Then you got Cooper Cronk. We haven't really talked about him as much, but he's a serial winner.
Yeah.
He's won like 6 grand finals, I think.
Are we calling this?
I think he's played 9 grand finals as well, like same as Ron Coote.
Yeah.
With Storm and Roosters. Like he did it at clubs where they're like a fully made club, but
you know what?
He is a winner. Like,
you still
that 40 meter field goal, Origin broke my heart as a kid. And then you got GI and Sam Burgess, your 2 boys.
I love them.
GI is just an absolute.
He's a ledge, and I like to drink with him.
Like, if there's one player that had everything, it's probably GI.
Step, kick, play make,
could
bully,
run the ball,
just he was
dasher, like.
There was a round 1 game against St George. He was playing left centre. He literally landed Jameson airborne from a fence. I'm like, holy fuck! Look at this bloke.
Yeah, Greg Inglis. Like, if there's one player I wouldn't really want to run at or want running at me, it's a GI. And then you got Sam Burgess.
Oh my gosh.
Probably the greatest Hom of all time.
I can't say enough nice things that will do him justice. His first training session, I remember I was 13. Actually, might have been on the news with a photo. I remember seeing it on Channel 9. The ultimate professional just looked like he wanted it more than anyone else, and he wanted to be the leader. I was 12, 13, and he just talked to me like he was like just one of his own sons. It was, or kids, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, nicest bloke in rugby league, and he was a leader amongst men. That 24 in grand final alone, I think, should get him being an immortal. I love him.
Like,
I can't say enough nice things. Like, toughest bloke to ever pro play the game as well.
Yeah. I think Burgess, that 2014 grand final, 80 minutes of fractured thing, it's like
Fractured cheekbone.
John Sattler-esque. And he won the Clive that year?
Yeah, he won it.
He did.
Yeah.
Deservedly as well.
Or it's him or George. George played really good that game too, but I
Yeah.
think because of the injury, playing like that, like that's just tough. That's just tough.
First hitter. Are there any other players I've seen, like Paddy G said, Cordner?
Oh, that's a good shout. Not more, but definitely Hall of Fame, I think.
I don't know if he played long enough.
But he's won enough, I think.
Yeah, I think he ran 3 grand finals. He only played like 9 years, I think. But he did captain Australia.
Yeah, Australia, New
years.
South Wales.
New South Wales. I think he's arguably a Hall of Famer. But then again, like, it's not like there's no one from our generation is going to get announced anymore, because they've just announced like Benny Elias still for the first time.
Yeah.
I think Cordner probably will eventually. I make a case for Paul Gallen.
No.
You're wrong. It's Paul Gallen.
No. No. Most overrated forward all the time. Not saying he's bad, because he's not bad. But he took away from the New South Wales halves. I know they had the 2010 thing, all these Hall of Famers for Queensland and all that.
7.
But you know what?
7 Hall of Famers.
7. But you're taking away from the structure, which the halfback and 5'8" set for you. Sharp and do your job, you big dumb fuck.
I think you're wrong. I'm pretty sure. Did he captain Australia? I'm pretty sure he captained Australia.
Odds on
He
picked his pants.
He's just. I love him. I'm not saying he's immortal, but he's
I can't have him.
one of Australia's greatest athletes.
Alright. I reckon to wrap it up, because we have to go to work soon.
Yep.
One more than you go, then I'll go.
I'll quickly touch on the women's players. Natalie Dwyer, Katrina Fanning, Tasha Gale, Veronica White, Karen Murphy, Tiny Norris. All make sense, obviously. I think the women's Hall of Fame inductees.
It's starting in the right direction.
Yeah, it's a great initiative. The next batch will be like less of the trailblazers. I feel like these are the more trailblazers.
Yeah.
Like before the game was even like probably but then you've got like the more recent players like
Bringshaw, maybe
Rowan Sims, Sam Bremner, Lana Ferguson. Who else?
I have Bringshaw as soon as she retires, basically.
Yeah, there's like a lot of the current players. Like I feel like you can make an argument for. But yeah, like plenty of options for the future, but these 6 make sense as the first 6, I guess. What were you gonna say?
I reckon, to finish up right, I reckon we should list one player right now who should be he's the next immortal that's still currently playing.
The next immortal current, it's Cleary. Are you saying instead of Cleary though?
Okay,
Cleary's obvious.
Okay, you can pick Cleary. I'll find someone else. I reckon. I hate to maybe Tedesco. That was such a big move, man.
Yeah, like Teddy. I feel like it's the conversations have stopped, but it's not like he's gotten worse. People were comparing him to Billy Slater, and like him in the Origin Arena right now has like last year wasn't his best year. It's pretty bad, and this year he just got dropped. But to say that like he is, James Tedesco hasn't gotten worse. He's been like a gun still at club level, and like the fact that he was even getting compared to Billy Slater, I don't think he'll become an immortal, but he will become a Hall of Famer. There's a few other current players, probably like Munster.
Actually, Munster's a great.
Harry Grant even is like by far the best 9 in the com.
Is he happy though?
Yeah, he's happy, but Harry Grant is like what 24, 23, rookie of the year in 2020, and he's been a gun ever since. Plenty of names for the future. We're gonna wrap it up here though. Like, subscribe, do all that. Comment below who you think the next immortal should be. And there you go.
See you, Martin.